following are the excerpts from Emmet Fox's The 7-Day Mental Diet. Listen carefully if you are serious about changing your life. It is the thoughts you allow yourself to think, the subjects that you allow your mind to dwell upon, which make you and your surroundings what they are. We are transformed by the renewing of our minds. Make up your mind to devote 1 week solely to the task of building a new habit of thought, and during that week let everything in life be unimportant as compared with that. This then is your prescription. For 7 days you must not allow yourself to dwell for a single moment on any kind of negative thought. You must watch yourself for a whole week as a cat watches a mouse, and you must not under any pretense allow your mind to dwell on any thought that is not positive, constructive, optimistic, kind. This discipline will be so strenuous that you could not maintain it consciously for much more than a week, but I do not ask you to do so. A week will be enough, because by that time the habit of positive thinking will begin to be established. Some extraordinary changes for the better will have come into your life, encouraging you enormously, and then the future will take care of itself. The new way of life will be so attractive and so much easier than the old way that you will find your mentality aligning itself almost automatically. But the 7 days are going to be strenuous. I would not have you enter upon this without counting the cost. Mere physical fasting would be child's play in comparison, even if you have a very good appetite. The most exhausting form of army gymnastics, combined with 30-mile route marches, would be mild in comparison with this undertaking. Do not start it lightly. Think about it for a day or two before you begin. Then start in, and the grace of God go with you. You may start at any day in the week, and at any time in the day, first thing in the morning, or after breakfast, or after lunch, it does not matter, but once you do start you must go right through for the 7 days. That is essential. The whole idea is to have 7 days of unbroken mental discipline in order to get the mind definitely bent in a new direction once and for all. If you make a false start, or even if you go on well for 2 or 3 days and then for any reason fall off the diet, the thing to do is to drop the scheme altogether for several days, and then to start again afresh. There must be no jumping on and off, as it were. First of all, what do I mean by negative thinking? Well, a negative thought is any thought of failure, disappointment, or trouble, any thought of criticism, or spite, or jealousy, or condemnation of others, or self-condemnation, any thought of sickness or accident, or, in short, any kind of limitation or pessimistic thinking. Any thought that is not positive and constructive in character, whether it concerns yourself or anyone else, is a negative thought. Do not bother too much about the question of classification, however, in practice you will never have any trouble in knowing whether a given thought is positive or negative. Even if your brain tries to deceive you, your heart will whisper the truth. Second, you must be quite clear that what this scheme calls for is that you shall not entertain, or dwell upon negative things. Note this carefully. It is not the thoughts that come to you that matter, but only such of them as you choose to entertain and dwell upon. Of course, many negative thoughts will come to you all day long. Some of them will just drift into your mind of their own accord seemingly, and these come to you out of the race mind. Other negative thoughts will be given to you by other people, either in conversation or by their conduct, or you will hear disagreeable news perhaps by letter or telephone, or you will see crimes and disasters announced in the newspaper headings. When the negative thought floats into your mind, immediately turn it out and think of something else. Best of all, think of God as explained in the Golden Key. A perfect analogy is furnished by the case of a man who is sitting by an open fire when a red-hot cinder flies out and falls on his sleeve. If he knocks that cinder off at once, without a moment's delay to think about it, no harm is done. But if he allows it to rest on him for a single moment, under any pretense, the mischief is done, and it will be a troublesome task to repair that sleeve. So it is with a negative thought. The answer is that such things, negative experiences or conditions, will not affect your diet provided that you do not accept them, by fearing them, by believing them, by being indignant or sad about them, or by giving them any power at all. It is your mental consent, remember, that constitutes your diet. Suppose you witness an accident or an act of injustice, let us say, instead of reacting with pity or indignation, refuse to accept the appearance at its face value. Do anything that you can to right matters, give it the right thought, and let it go. At that, you will still be on the diet. A closing word of caution: do not tell anyone else that you are on the diet, or that you intend to go on it. Keep this tremendous project strictly to yourself. And, finally, remember that nothing said or done by anyone else can possibly throw you off the diet. Only your own reaction to the other person's conduct can do that. Like, share and subscribe if you like the video. If you want to share your experience, you can write to us. Your prayers will be answered.